I was cold called by someone I went to college with 7 years ago, asking me to give them money for their missionary work. I went to a Christian college. I'm now an atheist, and I decided to respond to them via text. And you can click on this comment and go back, listen to the voicemail, see my response. But he did respond. I thought we should go through it together because the whole thing is just peak Christian behavior, and I think it's so funny. Also, I have a migraine, that's why I'm wearing these glasses. They help block out the light that irritates my eyes. So he responded by saying, "Hey Lauren, I'm glad you replied. Not many people do." Why? I'm so shocked. I wonder why not many people respond when the first time you reach out to them in almost a decade is to ask for money. "Thank you for the kind words. I hope you and Ben are doing well. Are you teaching still?" So confirmation that he reached out to me asking for money, thinking that I was a teacher in this economy. Sir, what? I'm sorry. Things are so expensive. Inflation is on the rise. Teachers get paid little to nothing, and you have the audacity to ask me to give you money. I can't. Also notice the complete lack of response regarding not being a Christian anymore and the religious trauma. Just skated right over that. Which is like so Christian to just ignore all the things that you don't want to have to acknowledge and instead like control the conversations about things you do want to talk about. So many Christians are so significantly conflict avoidant because they just are so used to being constantly invalidated and told that their feelings don't matter, that it's just normal to them to ignore other people's feelings and hard things that people say. And something to know about me before I continue is I grew up in a really traumatic household, obviously the evangelical Christianity, but like I grew up with abusive parents. I was forced to, like, I wasn't allowed to be myself. I had to be the person that my parents wanted me to be. If I tried to be myself, I was lashed out at, I was abused. So like I, as an adult now, have made a promise to myself to be as authentic to myself as I can. Sometimes it leads to oversharing, but I am very strong in my beliefs that, like, you should just talk about your experiences without shame because it helps destigmatize them and it helps remove the shame for yourself and for other people. So I responded by saying, "No, I burnt out, got an autism diagnosis. It was a whole thing. I work in corporate IT now." That is a vast oversimplification of what happened, but I was really curious after he just completely ignored the religious trauma thing, how we would react if I said this. Also because he's definitely neurodivergent. Very neurodivergent. We had conversations about this in college because I knew I was ADHD and I was like, Jason, I think that you should go get an evaluation because we get along too well. And you're like saying you relate to a lot of things that I have going on and it's because I have ADHD. And he was always like, "No, I don't have a disability." So I was curious to see, like, how deeply rooted in ableism are we still? And obviously his response, "Oh, all right." He did not know what to do with that information because, you know, he's a teacher. He doesn't want to come off as ableist, but like, it's clear to me that he thinks autism is a bad thing. And then he's like, "How do you like that?" Notice, I'm not asking any follow-up questions because he made this whole thing about we can talk, we can catch up. I want to talk to you even if you don't want money. So I'm like, okay, I'll just share my stuff. But in all honesty, I didn't really have any interest in continuing this conversation any further because, like, this honestly was all just an experiment to me, and I don't want to make this person my project and try to get him to deconstruct because I have better things to do with my time and energy. If the last thing I want to be doing is spending more of my emotional labor on a cishet white man who has all the power and privilege and access to tools where he could deconstruct if he wanted to, but I'm not going to do free labor for him. So I responded to his question. I get to work from home, which I like. I have 3 large dogs that are all rescues, and they're the best coworkers. I much prefer them to people, LOL. And he never responded after that, and I doubt that he will. And if I'm being honest, like, I posted he responded right after I posted the video, and that Christian guilt is strong, man, because I was texting my friend and I was like, "Oh my God, I feel so bad. Should I take the video down? Like, he seems like he's being genuine." And she was like, "Absolutely not. That call was an absolutely unhinged thing to receive as the first communication in 7 years, regardless of if he's being like pleasant with you right now, or thanking you for responding. Like, you see, he still deserved to be called out for that wild audacity and behavior." Which I do agree with. So, Jason, if you see this, I strongly encourage you to watch this playlist I have on deconstructing Christianity. I think it might be, I don't know, kind of useful to you because, like, clearly from how much you struggled to get that script out, this is not something that you want to be doing. And honestly, I remember from my missions work, like, asking for money is never something people want to be doing, but like I can tell how obviously uncomfortable you are. Maybe, I don't know, like get a job that pays you directly instead of being exploited and having to get other people to pay your salary, because organizations that are tax exempt and have millions of dollars don't want to pay you. Because that's what's happening here. Other nonprofits, situations like that, they still pay their employees. Like, not great, but they still do. This is the thing that's unique to Christianity and other cults, forcing you to fund your own salary. That's not normal, even in other nonprofit tax exempt organizations. Just churches and cults.